You're listening to a Morbid Network podcast.
Mike Williams set off on a hunting trip into the swamps of North Florida, where it was thought he met his fate by a group of hungry alligators. Except that's not what happened. And after the uncovering of a secret love triangle, the truth would finally be revealed. Listen to Over My Dead Body, Gone Hunting, early and ad-free on Wondery Plus.
Hey, weirdos, I'm Ash.
I'm Elena.
And this is Morbid. A special guest today, weirdos.
Woo!
Party.
It's Jodie Sweetin.
Hello.
You probably know Jodie as Stephanie Tanner, like first and foremost, because iconic. But Jodie, thank you so much for coming on. This is like huge for us. We're so excited.
Oh my gosh, this is huge for me. I'm a big fan of the show, and it's like I when I first jumped on the Zoom, I was like, oh my gosh, like I know these voices. So yeah, it's I'm also excited to be here. I love Morbid. I love all things spooky and weird and creepy, and you guys are hilarious. So yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yes,
we feel the same way too. As soon as you came on the Zoom, I was like, oh my god,
old friend.
I was like, this is so weird.
Old friend. Just that's
back.
Yep.
It's true.
Living room. Yeah. You didn't even know it, but I was in your living room.
That's wild.
That's insane.
Yeah. Not even when the
that.
TV was on. Just there standing,
you
watching.
Had no idea.
Just being weird. Yep.
We were all just hanging out together.
Just vibes.
Yeah. You didn't. I mean, you guys were asleep. It was a little weird, but it was fine.
We've been through a lot together.
Yes. Yeah. In the last 5 minutes, I mean, we've been through solar flares and planets in retrograde.
Lifetimes we've lived together.
Lifetimes of things. Yeah.
Planetary events we've lived together.
But the main reason that we're all here is the spooky of it all.
Hell yeah.
So we have a couple spooky questions for you before we get into the actual cryptid of it all that Elena's going to present.
Woo.
But is it cool if we ask you a couple questions first?
Absolutely. Go for it.
All right, cool. So we know that you're into true crime. What would you say is the one case that interested you the most over the years?
Oh, man.
I know. It's always a hard one.
There's so many. I mean, God, I was like the weird kid at the library when I was like 8 to checking out books on like the Amityville horror and like all kinds of weird stuff, right? All the ghost stories and like weird stuff at the library.
That was you in the other aisle.
Yeah.
Cool.
That was me.
Yeah.
I was hoarding all the weird creepy books. Gosh, one that's fascinating. And it depends because like there's like I'm fascinated with like serial killers. Simply because I find like abnormal psych or the sort of various shades of psychology really interesting.
Yeah, totally.
Because it's just humans are more terrifying than any monsters we can really make up.
So much so.
For me, I think also because I'm an LA girl, the Night Stalker has always been a fascinating case to me because it also involves the Cecil Hotel.
Yes.
Which is here in downtown LA.
Oh, yeah.
Which I'm also fascinated by. And my friend lives around the corner there. So we've gone over there many times trying to like figure out how we can be creepy and get in. But the Night Stalker case in particular, because I think it was, God, what year was that? It was like
that
early
was in like
mid-80s.
I was going to say. Yeah. I think it was.
Yeah, because I was little, but I vaguely remember it being sort of in the ether and like being talked about. But for me, it's just such a weird case because there's no rhyme or reason.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The chaos of it all.
Usually it's like, it's one of the cases that you go, oh, wow, man, like some people there's
no victim profile.
There was no map. There was no plan. Nope. There was no type. That was fascinating to me that it was just a across the board chaos.
Yeah, it was kids, it was elderly, everything in between.
Yeah, and I also, that one is interesting too, because you read so much about like his childhood and brain trauma and all, not as an excuse, obviously, but it's just sort of an interesting thing because you can kind of see this whole thing like pieced together.
Yeah,
and as an LA girl, I'm always fascinated by those. Also, the Manson murders.
Yeah.
Obviously. Also, my friend lives on that property.
No way.
Wow.
Yeah. So like it's just
like
obviously
right
the
there.
house has since been torn down and he's built a place and stuff. But yeah, it's the property nonetheless.
Just the vibes,
so
yeah.
And that's kind of like
Yeah,
a similar
yeah.
thing too, like no rhyme, no reason,
Yeah.
just pure chaos.
Yeah, pure and that one had like a weird Beach Boys connection.
Yes.
And so like I have several weird like connections to that case in particular. So yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
Those
Sorry,
are two
can I say that on
this?
Yeah, but I can say that. Yeah.
Oh
okay,
yeah,
of
we
course.
curse
Like,
all
wait,
the time.
got it. I was
We
like, wait,
prefer
yeah, I
it.
can. Okay, just checking.
Yeah, I can.
What were you gonna say?
No, I was just, those two are like, it really is the chaos of it all that stresses me out, especially about the Night Stalker case.
Yeah.
When you can go down to like kids and go all the way up to like 90-year-olds and everything in between.
Like
it's like
it was
whoa.
and no real rhyme or reason
No.
as to
methods
the way it was
or
done,
anything.
method, like not
So
yeah.
scary.
And that for me is it again from like the psychology aspect of it is really interesting because it's the chaos of that mind that comes
Yeah.
out in that way is I think that's the thing is I'm like I so desperately want to not understand but like what it's so unrelatable that type
Exactly.
of horror to me. And I think that's like a lot of true crime is like it's so beyond that I'm like what in the world could possibly make someone go there? And anyway, it's just fascinating to me. And yeah, and getting to go to like the Hotel Cecil.
Yes.
My friend and I like figured out how to get into the alley behind the thing there where
Oh
like
my God.
you can go to the place where like he's yeah.
So did anything happen while you were at the Cecil? Like any kind of paranormal happenings?
No, because I mean we've also gone during the day, but I there's so many great historic creepy places in downtown
Oh,
LA. But no,
yeah.
nothing ever happened while we were there. But they've now since reopened it again
Yeah, I saw that recently.
and turned it into they originally were going to take it and turn it into like luxury condos.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Imagine that.
That's a choice.
Which they do that to everything in downtown LA and obviously the housing market sucks and no
Yeah.
one has money to buy $2 million condos downtown
no.
anymore. So I think they have now reverted it back to like low income housing,
Oh, okay.
which was kind of what it was previously.
yeah.
Yeah.
But there was also that weird documentarian that was at the Hotel Cecil.
Oh, yeah.
I want to say he was Dutch or something like
I'm
that.
trying to remember what that
There was that guy.
Yeah.
There
I don't
was
think I ever
have you
heard
looked
of
at
that.
the girl that wound up in the water tank?
Yeah,
Yep.
Elisa Lamb. That's like a really sad case.
That's a really wild case.
and just like bonkers.
Yeah. There's just all kinds of weird stuff, but they have now since turned it back into I think it's low income housing again, which is much needed downtown. But it'll be interesting. You know, that place is just such a people say it's like a hotbed of really weird activity. And so I definitely wanted to figure out how to go in there
I don't
before
blame
they had
you.
turned it into anything. I was like, I want to go in here while it's empty.
Oh yeah, that's when
Well,
I feel like
spooky.
that's
We
when
did it.
something would happen. You know?
Oh, yeah.
So have you ever had any paranormal experience in general in your life that's been like, holy shit?
Yes, I have.
Nice.
So, okay.
You're like,
I'm
sit
like,
back
let's
for this
go.
one.
I'm like, so picture this. Sicily, 19. No. So, God, this was 10 years ago or a little more. I worked in drug and alcohol treatment. I was a director of operations, and we had several properties here in LA that we rented. And one of which was this huge property up off of Wonderland here in the Hollywood Hills. And I think it was owned, or Jared Leto bought it after we had rented it out or something.
Iconic.
It takes up 3 addresses. It's a gigantic property. And it was originally built as a military base. It has a soundstage attached to it. They would shoot World War II propaganda films here.
No way.
And it's also rumored that they held people there without, because it was in the Hollywood Hills. It's way back there, like way before there were houses or anything. And it goes down about 3 or 4 stories into the side of the mountain. And it's got 18-inch thick cement walls. It's a nuclear fallout shelter. It's a whole thing. So we had it as a property, and we had it as a sober living, and there was like an art gallery attached. I mean, it was gigantic, right? So at the time, I was looking for an apartment, had to be out of my old apartment with my kids, was going through divorce, whatever. It was kind of crazy. And so there was an apartment that was on one of the lower floors of the addresses, had its own separate entrance. It was like 1,200 square feet, but it was just kind of a big room with a little kitchen attached, and then this ridiculous, gigantic bathroom that I called the Scarface bathroom because it was like black and white tiled and all mirrored. And I'm not kidding you. When I lived there for like the month and a half with my kids, the bathtub was like a small swimming pool. Like my kids used to just like paddle through it. Yeah, it was crazy.
They're like, Mom, we love this place.
Right. And it was like weirdly old. Like it was a weird spot to be, but it was kind of cool to live there. So anyway, I was there, and when we had first acquired the property, the handyman that used to go over there all the time, he would talk about how like creepy it was over there, and we would all kind of laugh and be like, "Oh yeah, whatever." He's like, "No, like it's real. There's like a woman's voice that keeps talking," and I'm like, "Anyway."
Like whatever.
Like, and I mean, I didn't discount it because, like, some stuff happens, but I was like, it's probably fine. There's so many, whatever, people coming and going. Well, I move in, and within maybe the first week or 10 days, I'm in the bathroom brushing my teeth, and my younger daughter is standing there and kind of looking back into the room, and she just starts going, no.
Oh, no.
Oh.
And I was like,
what?
What's happening?
What are you talking to?
And she was like, it's the lady in the corner again.
Again?
I don't want to talk to her. She's scaring me.
Oh, no.
Oh, I hate it. I have goosebumps already.
I don't like that at all.
And I was like, okay.
You're like, I have to parent through this? Like, shit.
Well, let's talk to her and let her know.
Let's communicate.
Because I'm always like, I don't know what I'm always like, let's reason with them.
Yeah.
So I was like, whoever is here right now, we know that we're in your space. Like, it's okay, but you're scaring my little one right now. And so, if you could leave, that would be great. Like, I don't know what he's one to say,
Like, it would
I
be
feel like
awesome.
that's the perfect thing to say.
Yeah.
And then she said, like, a few minutes later, like, she didn't see her anymore, but we definitely would hear knocks on the door in that hallway. And there would be, it would be late at night. Nobody was there, and nobody was in that section of the house. And yeah, like a lot of creepy things like that happen. But the creepiest part is that, well, not the creepiest part. I'd say the lady in the corner was probably the creepiest part.
She takes the cake.
So I had to store all of my stuff in the old film vaults that were on the property.
That's so cool.
If you guys know anything about me, you know that I am all about being comfy. I love soft sweatpants. I love soft pajays. I just said pajays, but I meant PJs. I love anything soft and cozy, which is exactly why I am freaking obsessed with Buffy sheets. Buffy has Earth's softest bedding, like the softest on the planet. I got mine this morning and put them on my bed. I haven't slept on them yet. I am counting down the actual minutes until I can get into my bed tonight. And this is what we got. We got the Bree sheet set by Buffy, and apparently they are the softest sheets you'll ever try. And just from putting them on my bed, I know that. The sheets are woven from eucalyptus, which makes it softer than cotton or linen. And you can sleep cooler because fabric made from eucalyptus is naturally cool to the touch. It's also research backed to be more breathable than cotton or linen and perfect for hot sleepers. I'm not a hot sleeper, but Drew is, so he makes our bed sort of like an oven. And then I'm like, wow, I'm literally sweating, and I wouldn't be if I had Buffy sheets. So now maybe tonight it'll be different, and I can't wait. Buffy is really awarded and recognized. Buffy products are consistently on best of lists. Architectural Digest and Glamour named the Buffy Breeze sheet set the best bed sheets of 2023, and I believe them. See for yourself why Buffy has over 50,000 5-star reviews. Upgrade your bedding with the Breeze Sheet Set by Buffy. Go to buffy.co and use code MORBID for 25% off your first order. That's buffy.co, promo code MORBID for 25% off. I used to scrub, dust, wash, shampoo, disinfect, and vacuum my entire freaking house. But no matter how much cleaning I did, I would still smell the cat's litter box, and it was driving me absolutely insane, and I felt so yucca. But then that all changed when I made the switch to Pretty Litter. Truly nothing beats Pretty Litter's ability to instantly trap odor. It's ultra absorbent, it's lightweight, low dust, and 1 6-pound bag works for me for up to a month without clumping. Do you know how big of a deal that is? That means no more wasting litter, and also you don't have to scoop the pee. I've told you that before. I hate that part. You don't have to do that if you have Pretty Litter, and that really gives me peace of mind. Also, Pretty Litter's crystals change color to indicate early signs of potential illnesses in my cat, like urinary tract infections, kidney issues, and more. And if you're a cat owner, you know that's a big deal because they're not walking up to you and telling you that they don't feel good. And if that wasn't enough, Pretty Litter ships free right to my door. I never run out. I don't have huge kitty litter bags taking up space. And even better, I don't have to lug those huge tubs from a store to my car and into my house. And my home has truly never smelled better. People have noticed. Pretty Litter has helped eliminate cat box stink in my house, and it can do the same for you. Make the switch today. Go to prettylitter.com/morbid and use code MORBID to save 20% on your first order. That's prettylitter.com/morbid, code MORBID to save 20% on your first order. prettylitter.com/morbid, code MORBID. Terms and conditions apply. See site for details.
And in order to access the film vaults, you had to go downstairs down into the thing. And it was like stepping back into like a 1950s like military. It was all that weird green metal.
Oh,
you know what I mean? That you see from like 1950s and 60s offices and stuff, and like big sliding doors that were green metal and all like and the lights were the kind that were on sensors. Because it was obviously so big. So you would walk through somewhere, and then if you were still for a while, the lights would turn off.
Oh my God. That's a terrible setup.
No.
So I would be down, like carrying stuff down to the vaults or like getting stuff out or whatever and putting it back. And there were definitely quite a few times that I'd be in there and it was just like conk, conk, like the lights start turning off and you're like, and then you'd be like waving, and if you're not right in front of the sensor, you're like, okay, so you're like waving, running up and down a hallway. It was definitely a creepy place to live, but kind of cool. And I'm always glad that I can say that I had that experience.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's horrifying.
Those are a couple of spooky experiences.
That really is.
It reminded me of the story with your little ones.
Yeah, I've told this on the show before, but my little ones, when they went into their first like big girl beds,
right,
they freaked out the first night, and we were like, oh, it's a new little big girl bed. Of course, they're gonna be a little freaked out, like a toddler bed.
Right. Of course, it's
So we come running in. We're like, what's the matter? And they were right next to the door, and there was a little hallway right outside their door. And one of them said, "There's people that keep coming in my room, and they're trying to cut my sheets with scissors." And I was like, right.
Oh God.
I was like, there's not. Like, what? I don't know what to do here. And it's like, you're like, okay, I can't freak out because I can't freak them out more. So I was like,
right.
And then I was like, are they here now? And they were like, no, they're right there. And they pointed to the dark hallway right outside their room. And I was like, okay. And I was like, they're just standing there. And they were like, yeah, they're just there. And I was like, okay.
You're like,
and
cool,
this was like an old,
it was an old,
house.
it was from like the 1800s. So I was like, cool.
Right.
And I just stepped into the hallway and I was like, hey, and I was like, they're around me right now. And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, awesome. Okay. And then I'm like, okay, guys. Yeah, like
awesome. Right. Yeah. You're just like, I don't know what's happening. And I feel sort of ridiculous, but also
this is
Inside,
fine.
like, I'm going to say hi, you guys.
Like, I'm going to give this a try. So I was like, hey guys, like you're freaking them out. Like, can you just like chill out and not try to cut their sheets tonight? Like, we'll talk about it tomorrow, maybe. And they were like, I was like, is everything good now? And they were like, yeah, they never complained about it again.
Just that one time.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You gotta like be like, excuse me.
Just take a little charge.
I know whatever you're going through. How you've been trapped in this weird in between space for hundreds of years. I get that. Could you not freak my kids out while we're trying to sleep? That would be so much appreciated.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Like, I totally get you're going through it.
If you need someone to talk to, come to me. It's fine, really. But
come try to cut my sheets. Like,
not scare the shit out of the kids because they're never going to go to sleep. And then I'm going to be angry.
Yeah. Like, I can deal with it. They're going to be traumatized forever. So, like, just come in my room. Like, I can handle it.
Right. Yeah. Look, if you need to cut sheets, whatever, here, take it. Here's some old ones.
Yeah.
Have at it. But just leave the kids alone, please.
Do a craft project.
Like, you're dead. I can't imagine what that's like. So,
yeah. I get it. Go sleep crafts too. I mean, it's going to get boring after a while, you know?
Yeah, you know? Yeah, that's wild.
They were trying to recreate the scene from Beetlejuice where they cut the holes out of the eyes of the sheets and just floated in.
They were trying to get us out of the house.
That was it.
So that someone would notice them, right?
Yep.
But
and they were like, shit.
They just went about it in a weird way, you know?
Yeah, you know?
They're like, oh, man, guys, we're just trying to get our outfits, right?
Yeah.
Should have just gone to the linen closet.
It's true. We had some sheets in there. And they weren't Daniel Tiger, so they would have been a little better, I think. So
incredible.
Yeah, I don't miss the days of like everything being like a cartoon.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah. It's fun with I have 7-year-old twins and we're coming out of that a little bit with them, but my 3-year-old is like Paw Patrol and I'm like,
oh yeah, you're still in it. 7 and 3. Yeah. I've got 15 and almost 13. It's a wild ride.
That's a different journey, right?
That must be such a different journey.
It is quite a different journey.
I just remember who I was at 13 and 15 and I'm like, sorry, mom. Sorry, everyone.
I've called my mom and apologized so many times.
Oh, yeah.
So many times. Although now my kids they're actually great. But it really was, I mean, pandemic did not do anyone any favors. But my older one like started middle school right when she was like started 6th grade and then it hit and then it was all of 7th and then part of 8th. It was not a great experience because middle school is horrific anyway.
In and of itself.
I'll be glad when we're done with that.
Truly it is. Not looking forward to that at all.
Talk about spooky, just middle school.
Yeah,
that's
I
it.
was like, just gonna say.
That's horror right there.
They are horrifying. Yeah, I would take someone cutting my sheets every single night and the lady in the corner over having to go to middle school again.
Oh yeah, 10 times over.
I welcome it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like all of that is like the perfect transition into the Jersey Devil.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the Jersey Devil today. Or the devil in the Pine Barrens.
The Jersey Devil. Does he do gym tan laundry or is this a totally different kind of Jersey?
No, that's Pauly D.
Honestly, he might though, because there's a lot of different versions of him. So who knows?
Maybe Jersey Shore is a version of him.
Maybe it is.
Is this like chupacabra type?
A little bit.
The New Jersey Devil? A little bit? Okay.
Yeah. It's like lore kind of stuff. So
I am all about it.
I love a good cryptid.
Oh, nothing like it.
A good cryptid. We got so many here because we're like around the Bridgewater Triangle where all that fun stuff is. Yeah.
I know. I remember you guys talking about that one time on one of your episodes about, and I was like, I want to go. Yeah. Like
We'll take you on a tour anytime.
We will.
Oh my God. I've done like ghost tours here. I did a whole night at a theater in San Juan Capistrano. And I did a supernatural show here as well with a couple other people that was really fun. But I'm the one that like goes and finds weird old creepy abandoned places. And I'm like, you guys, we should go in.
Yes.
And everyone else is like, something's wrong
with
you. Yeah.
No, thank you.
No, you're our people.
No,
we would go in with you.
We got to take you to the Lizzie Borden house.
Yeah.
It's close by us.
I would. Oh my God. I want to go there so bad.
We spent the night there.
Yeah, we did. It was wild.
You did? Was it creepy?
Yeah, it was horrifying. We didn't sleep. I wouldn't let us.
Yeah, it has the harshest vibe in there. Like it is
really
very hard to relax.
You
in
can
that place.
feel it.
Yeah,
like,
it's heavy.
tense.
Yeah.
But fascinating.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
We'll make plans for that after.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We'll do our ghost tour plans after.
Part 2 is ghost tour. So
can't wait.
So we're going to talk about the birth of the Jersey Devil first. So The story of the Jersey Devil is kind of unique to the United States for sure. It's the Pine Barrens is where it came out of.
Wow. There's so many things that are so unique to the United States that are horrifying. It's really...
And unique is such a nice way to put it, isn't it?
Exactly. It's a unique horror to the United States. Oh, yeah. We got... Yeah, I know what we're talking about.
So the Pine Barrens in New Jersey is a very dense forested region, and it covers more than 1,700 square miles.
Wow.
Which is apparently 1.1 million acres.
Holy shit.
That's a lot of acres.
That's all of the acres.
That's a lot of acres.
That's many acres. And it's in southeastern New Jersey. So what's really spooky about this place is that although New Jersey is one of the more heavily populated states in the country, according to author James McCloy, quote, one can travel in the pines for many miles and not encounter a single sign of modern civilization.
Love that. Thank God. There's, too many miles of human civilization these days.
Truly.
There's some open space, somewhere you can go like, I forget about those assholes. And then, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just take me all the way off the grid into the Pine Barrens with the Jersey Devil.
Right. Seriously. Just please stick me in a tree. Let's call it a day.
Let's go.
I'm
you
done.
guys are going together.
Yeah. We're going to the Pine Barrens.
I'm like, have fun, guys.
I was just like, tell me about it later.
I'm like, I don't think they have Starbucks.
Bye. So in addition to a large amount of timber harvested from the pines, the area was also really important for being a source of iron ore. And it kind of drove the iron industry and munitions production during the 17th and 18th century. So it was
interesting. Yeah. I was thinking like World War II, but no, 17, like,
goes way back.
Okay, yeah.
Way back.
So, bullets.
It's, bullets.
There's always that.
Bullets.
We're always needing bullets.
Again, right. A uniquely American horror. I feel where we're going with this.
Unique to America. No. So it's a pretty critical part of the region's economy. But when manufacturers began relying on cheaper and more plentiful iron ore from the West in the mid-19th century, what was once a dense population in and around the Pine Barrens started to kind of dwindle down.
Much like many industrial cities of the East.
Exactly.
Sorry, I'm a big history nerd. I'm going to just interject on every stupid little thing.
Honestly, I love that. Yeah, please do. So who remained were this small number of really rugged individuals who were just living off the land kind of thing. They were like, we're not leaving.
The hills have eyes. The hills have eyes. That's what I'm feeling.
Exactly. And I think, honestly, that's kind of... They're
the
like
kid from the beginning of Deliverance. Here we go.
Here we go. We're off. And I think they're like the places around them who were more into modern conveniences would derogatorily refer to them as the Pineys because they were left in the Pine Barrens. And honestly, the Pineys were like, I don't give a shit. It's cool in here. It's quiet.
They're like,
have
we
the
don't
Jersey Devil. Yeah, we don't like you anyway. So this is kind of a perfect setting for one of these cryptids or urban legends to come about, where it's like
for real.
The people in the modern civilization with the people who refuse to leave the Pine Barrens kind of thing.
I think M. Night Shyamalan did that movie.
Yes.
Wasn't it? The Village?
Yes.
The Village.
Yep.
That's
I
a
love
great
that
one.
movie.
That's one of those movies you either love or you hated.
I love it so much.
I actually like that one.
I do too.
Again, hit or miss, but sorry, not to derail the
I feel
conversation.
like that was one that just hit. At the end, I was like, all right.
And it took place not in the Pine Barrens, but
exactly.
But close enough.
It's reminiscent for sure.
It's what I'm imagining. It's what I'm picturing.
It felt very Salem.
I could
Salem.
See that.
Yeah. Love.
We got to take you to
love.
Salem too.
Add it to the list.
Right. It's right over there.
Yes.
So according to McCloy, one of the earliest versions of the Jersey Devil's origins are from a woman named Jane Leeds. So Leeds lived in Estelville, New Jersey, which is about an hour away from the Pine Barrens. And she was a mother of 12.
Whoa.
Of 12 what?
Just
12 children?
At the time. Well, actually, 12 children, I will say.
I mean, my dad's much older and his family each had 17 and 16 kids on his parents' side. So yeah,
Damn.
I get it.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, that's a lot.
I mean, you're living out in the Pine Barrens. You gotta, the kids disappear in the pines. Sometimes
there you go.
Yeah.
So you got to keep just replacing them.
Cheaper by the dozen.
There you go.
Oh, great movie again.
And I wonder why, but she was actually referred to as Mother Leeds And I'm like, where'd you get that name?
Oh,
who
could know?
The dozens of
weird.
children.
Yeah.
But and she's still referred to as that when people talk about this story. And
Well, I mean, I feel like it'd be grandmother at this point, but
she had great grandmother Leeds.
Just Nana Leeds.
old lady Leeds.
Old lady Leeds. So she discovered, though, that she was pregnant with another child, a 13th,
13th
child, lucky
shit.
number 13. And she, weirdly enough, was not happy about this. So she cursed the pregnancy and said,
Wait, where's the dad?
That's kind of what I'm wondering.
Yeah, right?
Where's the man? Where's father Leeds?
That's my question. Where's old man Leeds over here?
Where is he in this
Yeah.
picture? I need to talk to him.
That's what I want to know. I'm like, what do you mean?
Keep it in your pants.
You got 12 kids, my guy.
This woman is losing her mind.
She's out grilling.
He's just always out grilling. He's like, I'm not here, sorry.
He's just like, I've got to go ride the lawnmower. Although this was probably in the days before riding lawnmowers. But anyway.
He's chopping down wood.
Yeah, what time period are we talking about, by the way? Just so I can picture what clothes to put these people in my mind.
This was like 1700s, I want to say. Yeah. So he's chopping wood.
Oh, okay. Got it. So this is, got
Put
it.
them in
this
like
is just-
potato sacks.
These are just children coming out of everywhere.
We are
you know?
out in the wilderness. It is the 1700s. Life
Roughing
sucks.
Things are not awesome.
Why we came here, we don't know.
Everyone's questioning it. Everyone's like, why are we here?
Yeah, but apparently no one decided to leave.
No.
So that
And she's like, I'm just going to have all these kids here.
They really settled.
Truly, they settled.
They put down roots.
Yeah.
really settled in. That's for fucking sure.
They created a civilization of their own. But it was that 13th child that she was not psyched about.
It's always it's the 13th kid that really puts you over the edge.
Yeah,
you know
lucky
what I mean?
number 13. That's the one when you feel truly outnumbered. It's number 13. You're like,
It's number 13, right?
yeah,
Right.
I felt like I could handle this, but
Up until then, me and all my personalities are doing pretty well. But that 13th, man, it's just really a bitch.
I don't have that 13th. I can't do it. And she said, I am tired of children. Let it be the devil.
Let this baby be the devil, she said?
Which I have a couple questions.
Like the
One,
baby in you?
Yeah, like what? Why the devil? And two, a child would be easier to deal with.
If
I feel like.
all I'm saying is if she's hoping that the baby is the devil, what is
Yeah.
wrong with these kids?
They must be pretty bad.
They must, if she's like, look, I'll take a devil baby over
Yeah.
these 12 assholes. You know what I mean? Like,
right?
Honestly.
these children must be wilding out. Just
What are your kids doing?
lighting shit on fire in the Pine Barrens, killing small animals.
They destroyed half the Pine Barrens.
It must be just poor Mother Leeds is like,
Yeah.
I'd rather have a devil baby.
They're
Yeah.
running
truly.
amok.
Well, you know what? She got one.
Maybe she's like, you know what? If I have one devil baby, maybe I'll be about 10 kids later.
There you go. And she got it. Because apparently this beastly child came into the world on the evening of a violent storm that actually came from the direction of the Pine Barrens in 1735.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
so people also claimed that Mother Leeds probably indulged in sorcery as well, which easily explains.
Of course, because she's a woman in the 1700s who
There-
had a complaint
ding,
about
ding,
having
ding.
13 babies. So therefore, she must be a witch.
There it is. Get her. She's going to have a devil baby.
Remember, hurry, quick. She sank. Oh, she's not a witch.
Yeah,
Okay.
whoops. That
Too
sucks. Whoops, we'll
Oh,
get it
darn.
right next
We were
time.
wrong again. Oh, well. One less mouthy woman to deal with.
So obviously, this is easily what explains what happened, because the legend goes that Mother Leeds gave birth to a healthy, very normal, average child, but within minutes of being placed in her arms, the baby began to change into a terribly unholy thing.
Ooh.
Now, according to McCloy, this is a quote, human features disappeared. The body elongated tremendously, forming into a long serpentine shape. Hooves replaced the feet. Its pink, chubby baby face coarsened into a long, bony structure of a horse's head. Bat wings sprung from its shoulder blades. Finally, it arose from the bed, larger and more powerful than a fully grown man.
Damn.
Then the silence was broken by the monster's rasping snarls as he curled his forked, thick tail and proceeded to...
No.
This is always funny. He proceeded to beat everyone in the room with it.
including Mother Leeds.
With the tail?
With the tail.
Well, I mean, if look, how big is this room? You know what I mean?
He might not have meant to.
Like, this baby is just born. It's trying to get a hold of itself. It's probably turning around like, oh, shit.
He's got a tail.
And just whacking people with his giant tail. Like, I'm so sorry. Oh, God. And it's just knocking things over.
Maybe Devil Baby didn't mean to.
Listen, I don't know.
He's got a lot going on.
He's got a lot of appendages to deal with.
Devil Baby was not to blame here. You know, look, we've seen the Seinfeld episode. We've all seen some ugly babies.
Exactly.
Maybe this was just a really exceptionally, unfortunately stretched out child. They're not cute right when they're born. They look weird.
I mean, I bumped into a couple things this morning. You know, I walked in and I bumped into my coffee. It could have been the same thing.
Was it your tail?
He's got a whole ass tail to contend with. He might not have meant to beat everybody with it. He was just stressed.
No spatial awareness. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just like, I've got a tail. Oh my God. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
I mean, we've all seen babies. Babies don't have any spatial, like a toddler doesn't have spatial awareness. It bangs into everything. Don't.
And now all of a sudden this baby's growing from like just fresh out of the oven baby into full grown fucking bat wolf man thing.
Yeah.
Also, I think I read this article in the New York Daily News at the supermarket about 3 years ago. No,
it was Bat Baby.
That's what I'm getting.
Oh my
God,
bad
boy. Yeah,
he used to be on the front of every tabloid.
Of everything.
Boy.
That
Everyone.
Right, and the weird head and eyes.
Yes.
Like, oh man, that was like the days before good AI. Like someone really fucking photoshopped that thing.
Someone
that was the 80s.
Those images together.
They went to town.
Hell yeah.
Just sharpened teeth and weird black, and they like dark blue under the eyes. Look really tired. Yeah,
it was wild.
Oh, poor thing.
Yeah, and here he was. This is his beginning right here.
This is his beginning. Right?
He was also loud because he had an ear-piercing bellow, and then he flapped his huge wings and shot right up the chimney and out into the night.
Damn. He went right for it.
He just beat the shit out of everybody in the room and then left.
Wow, it's like a giraffe right after birth. They just get up and go.
Walk around and then
I'm impressed. Yeah. I am impressed.
He didn't even need to try. And he knew that the chimney went out, which is impressive.
Smart.
Right out the oven. He was like, I bet that leads out. I'm going to go out there.
He's like, you know where that goes? Up.
The air. I think that's what that is.
And you know what I can fit through as a full-grown bat human being?
A chimney.
That
flue.
chimney.
I think so.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. So according to this account, this very believable account, McCloy notes several sleeping children with a Jersey Devil's first worldly meal, which is rude.
If you're hiring, you know that it's incredibly hard to attract top talent. And with the current labor market conditions, it's harder than ever. That's why you want a partner who gets it. ZipRecruiter! ZipRecruiter knows how tough it is right now, but they've figured out solutions for the problems that you're facing. See for yourself right now. You can try them for free at ZipRecruiter.com/morbid. ZipRecruiter is literally ready to tackle your recruiting challenges. To reach more of the right people, ZipRecruiter posts your job to 100 plus job sites. That means over 100, you guys. You need to hire ASAP? ZipRecruiter's smart technology finds great matches for your job sooner. Want first dibs on talent? Well, ZipRecruiter lets you invite the most qualified people to apply to your job. And their pricing is straightforward. No surprise costs. Team up with a hiring partner who understands what you need, ZipRecruiter. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Just go to this exclusive web address to try ZipRecruiter for free. ZipRecruiter.com/morbid. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/morbid. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Hey listeners, you need to know that Wondery's shocking true crime podcast Over My Dead Body is back for a 4th season, Gone Hunting. This newest season covers the story of Mike Williams. It was Mike's 6th wedding anniversary when he set off on a hunting trip into the gator-infested swamps of North Florida. He figured he'd be back in time to take his wife Denise out to celebrate, but he never came back. Friends and loved ones feared he met his fate through bad luck and a group of hungry alligators, leaving his young family behind. Except that's not what happened at all. And after 17 years, a kidnapping, and the uncovering of a secret love triangle, the truth would finally be revealed. Enjoy Over My Dead Body, Gone Hunting on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Over My Dead Body early and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Get started with your free trial at Wondery.com/plus.
Other versions say that his first meal was just the entire Leeds family. So,
well, there was a lot of them to,
he either ate his entire family, all 12 children, Mama Leeds, and if there was a Daddy Leeds, he was gone too, or he just went out into the night and ate a bunch of sleeping kids.
I mean, I feel like going with the sleeping kids would probably be an easier get at first. Yeah. You know what I mean? While you're kind of still learning how to function in this weird devil body.
I think so.
You don't want to work for it. I mean, my kid's first meal was mashed up avocado, but like sleeping babies are, I guess, a great first meal.
Sleeping babies, Devil, mashed avocado, whatever works.
Whatever works, whatever you have on hand.
Choices.
Yeah. All I know is we're all canceled. No,
this is the end of this.
That's it. This is the end. I hope this was really fun.
This has been so fun. What a farewell.
Our farewell episode.
What a farewell. The Leeds Bat Boy has come to take us all.
There's another version of this story, too, in case that wasn't good enough. So this version takes poor Mother Leeds totally out of the equation entirely.
This baby's creator?
Oh, yeah, because now there's a totally different young woman who is also lonely. We got to make sure that we know she's lonely. And she's from Leeds Point.
It's the 1700s for women. I'm sure she is lonely.
Everybody's lonely.
No, it's not like she's like, hey, let's talk about our feelings, honey. He's like, I'm going to go cut things in the field and have another woman.
You're a witch.
So it's like, yeah, I think they're all lonely is pretty much it. But apparently this poor woman fell in love with a British soldier during the American Revolution.
That's a
no-no. So the obvious punishment for that is getting a devil baby. Because she betrayed the American cause, obviously.
That's what I always say.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like that's also a story that I've heard recently. People are like, you know what happens, right?
A devil baby. That's definitely, you're like, this is familiar. So there are, besides this one, so that's the second way that he came about, was just like, oops, you married a British soldier.
Oh wait, sorry, quick tangential question.
Ooh, go.
Isn't the New Jersey Devils the name of their hockey team?
Sure is. Because now we're proud of it. Now we're like,
okay,
it was a thing where everybody was scared of it. And then at the end, they were like, let's name a hockey team after it. They were like, this thing is pretty rad. This thing that eats children sleeping in bed, we're going to name a hockey team after it. So there are other less common versions of the story that kind of incorporate like one or more of the elements of those two kind of like mix and match.
Right.
But in any case, they all just result in some hideous creature being born and either fleeing or being forcibly cast out into the Pine Barrens. And that's where it would adapt and live to this very day. So, like any legend, the Jersey Devil exists mostly, or in large part, I would say, to kind of explain a variety of unfortunate or difficult events and phenomena in the region.
I blame it for everything. Everything that's happening right now, fucking Jersey Devil.
The echo in the Zoom. It's his fault.
The planet's going backwards. All of it.
They would blame like droughts and crops on the Jersey Devil, cows underproducing milk, the Jersey Devil, the absence of fish in a local stream, the Jersey Devil. It's all his fault. And in one instance, American naval hero Commodore Stephen, how do you say it, Dave? Decatur. I was like, Dave will know.
Decatur. Oh, yeah. Decatur or whatever. Decatur.
Boom. There you go. Commodore Stephen Decatur. I like it. He visited the Hanover Iron Works in Burlington, New Jersey, just to like oversee the production of cannonballs because he wanted to make sure they met his standards and would actually work, you know?
Imagine if that was your job, the oversight of cannonballs.
Truly, I just got to make sure they're cannonballs.
I just got to make sure that the balls are looking good.
I just need it to be a sphere.
Just here to measure the balls.
But that afternoon, while he was readying the cannons for test firing, he observed a bizarre creature flapping its wings across the range. And everyone present on the range that day backed up that his aim was perfect when he fired the cannon directly through the Jersey Devil. And apparently, literally ripped a hole straight through the Jersey Devil. But the Jersey Devil just was like, eh. And he just kept going. Like merely a flesh wound and just flew off. Like was not at all worried about this. But everyone there was like, saw it. He shot a cannonball at the Jersey Devil.
That's wild. I just picture him like, nah, 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 nah.
Yeah, he's just like
flying
boom.
away.
Right? Yeah.
Way to test fire.
I fought in your general direction. Yeah, like they reenact the entire scene from Monty Python.
Yeah, he was the original. Now, across southern New Jersey, the devil was definitely a common scapegoat. He was blamed throughout this 19th century, again, for like loss of livestock on farms. He became the source of howling and shrieking that would be heard by farmers, which I'm also like, maybe what was it if it wasn't that?
Maybe we should investigate.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It was someone being murdered and buried on someone's property is what that was.
But we're just blaming a cryptid. But every now and then, apparently, the devil would make his way out of the pines and would be spotted on battlefields and more heavily populated areas like Atlantic City. So there were sightings.
He's a tourist.
You know, he just wants to see the sights.
That feels also very on brand for the Jersey Devil. Like, hey, I'm going to go to some battlefields in Atlantic City. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to go blow some shit up with those cannonballs and gamble.
Exactly. It really makes sense.
Has anyone ever seen the Jersey Devil and a certain former president in the same room? Just saying. I'm just saying.
I have been thinking that the entire time.
Do we know?
Are there reports?
Saying.
I never have.
Are there, right?
I can say I haven't, but who am I to say?
That's all she wrote.
Has it been on a Simpsons episode? Because if it has,
then we know it is true.
Then we know. Yeah, okay.
I like it. But it wasn't really until the very end of the 19th century that he began to appear in news reports. That's when we started reporting on him.
Got it. He started giving interviews then.
That's when he was like...
Yeah, his manager was like, you really need to give a quote.
Yeah, he got out.
He was like, this PR was like, look, dude, you've got to get out and fight this story.
I mean, like, I know it's you.
You've got to let people know what's going on.
Exactly. Right? You got to give your
reasons. I don't want to.
You know?
People are going to misunderstand me. No one's going to listen. They're going to take it out of context and I'm just eating babies. You know, that's, it's hard. It's hard.
There's that whole story where I beat everyone in the room upon birth with my
tail. Right. And he's like,
it
was my tail. It was new. No one's going to believe that.
Exactly.
Right. So I get it. He's in a difficult position.
And we believe you.
I'm so sorry I've come on as a guest to your show and completely taken it off the rails.
Oh, no.
We love that.
This is what we need.
There are no rails.
Off the rails is where we live. We rarely live on the rails.
I was just going to say, our show has never, ever been on the rails.
Yeah, it shouldn't be.
Okay, good. I only like to do off the rails shows because that's how my brain works.
It's fun. Our brains as well.
So on July 29th, 1899, issues of the New Jersey City News reported that the beast had, quote, reappeared in New Jersey for the first time since it warned the pioneers of the approach of the Civil War, which I was like, wow. I love that he just is like, hey guys.
So this thing is like Nostradamus too. It's all. Wait. Who did it warn about the Civil War? Did it go up to someone and be like, hey guys,
pass it on.
A war. It's gonna be really fucked up. Just letting you know.
But we're gonna call it civil.
We're gonna call it civil.
Did he tell that? Did he tell Mr. Cannonball Corporal Decatur?
I'm saying.
Who was he whispering to? That I need to know because someone knew that the Civil War was coming from the Jersey Devil and didn't say shit.
And he didn't pass it on.
Yeah.
Because the Jersey Devil was like, pass it on. And that guy was like, I'm not going to pass it on.
Yeah, he was like,
just going to let it happen.
Tell people. Right. And then now he's like, I'm getting a bad name. Yeah. Meanwhile, I tried to warn people.
He's like, if I say pass it on, you pass it on.
You know, at the end of this, I think that we're going to come out that the Jersey Devil has just been misaligned this hundreds of years. Yeah. Misunderstood.
He needs to do a tell-all memoir is what he needs to do.
I can't wait.
I'll do it.
Right.
Let's keep our eyes out for that.
It's gonna happen.
I wouldn't doubt anything these days. Truly,
honestly, I wouldn't either. We're manifesting it.
It's gonna hit number 4 on the New York Times bestseller. 100%. I'm gonna go, oh, okay,
yeah, good for him. I called that. It's like, oh yeah, I got the audiobook. So the article described the beast as, quote, a strange combination of serpentine body, horse head, cloven hooves, and forked tail, which is pretty much the origin description.
Oh, we're sticking with the original original body shape.
Yeah, we're going with that.
I hope he's gotten to use the tail a little better at this point, though.
I think he probably has gotten used to it at this point. But he was believed to have been banished from the area many years after bringing considerable misfortune to the residents of South Jersey.
Oh, but wait, does that mean then he's there hanging out and being welcomed in and people are like, come on, buddy.
That's what I wonder. I'm like, are you hanging out with him? Then you're like,
have a drink. And then all of a sudden they're like, whoa. Whoa, that was you. One too
much.
many fucking cows. Okay, buddy, you've got to go.
You crossed a line. Well, several years later, in the spring of 1905, the devil started making headlines again, and this time with a slightly different story attached to him now. So in the article, exactly, it changes 100,000 times.
Changing up, right?
It's always changing. He's always evolving with the times.
The old story wasn't working, not getting as much traction.
Exactly.
Got to change it up a little bit.
Got to change it up. So the article was titled "Story of the Leeds Devil," and a reporter for Camden's Morning Post newspaper alleged that the devil had been born many years ago in Bordentown, New Jersey, and was the product of a relationship between an American sea captain and his wife.
Ooh.
Well, and now it does involve because they called the woman a tarlatan before she married the captain. Which, when I first heard that, I was like, "Is that like a mixture of a harlot,
like a harlot and a charlatan?
Yeah, like a
lying.
That's what I thought it would be.
This woman,
but apparently, a tarlatan is a village in England. So I think they were just going back to that whole like, it's not an American, so that's what happened. But like the mother Leeds origin story, the captain's wife wished not to have a second child and was not psyched about the baby even before it was born. So she gave birth to a child bearing a close resemblance to the Orthodox devil.
Oh, so now we're getting the real devil into it.
And exactly. And now the
Baphomet, the one with the horns and the
Baphomet. Yeah, the whole.
He's literally right there.
He is. He's hanging out right here.
Yes, I love him.
Yeah, he's great.
So cool looking.
You know?
He is.
Right.
He's great. He's doing the whole like as above, so below thing. The whoop piece. So this is what that baby did. It was like, whoop, hey. And they were like, that's not okay. So they're like, no, thank you.
So judgmental.
Right?
Really?
It's like, he's just trying to get you into like freer thinking. That's all. Listen to what he has to say, man. But apparently he became known in the neighborhood as the Leeds Devil. And I love because when this came out, it was
just
like
walking to school with his backpack. And they're like, there's the Leeds Devil. Right. He's like, oh, man.
He's like, I'm just trying to get to chemistry. But
yeah, exactly.
I love it.
Second period, man.
Because it said like it was a surprise to no one that she gave birth to the devil. And it's like, to no one? Like
no one was surprised.
I don't know. I feel like I would be surprised if I was there.
You're like, that's tarlatan.
She's from England.
I'm gonna invent tarlatan though as the word that we described and just start using it.
It feels right. Like
I think
tarlatan.
it's an excellent word.
It's more
tarlatan.
It's got a good
tarlatan
feel to it.
Yeah.
You tarlatan.
And you can say it to people and they won't know what you mean at all.
But
they'll know it's an insult, that's for sure.
Because it's got all those T's in it.
One of those great words that you don't quite know what it means, but you know it's supposed to slap you.
Hell yeah. I love those.
Tarlatan.
So despite being described as looking like the Orthodox devil and being described as a demon-human hybrid, the Morning Post said that the beast is not just something of legend, but was actually a real creature that terrorized the town until it crawled into the fireplace and up the chimney and into the Pine Barrens. So it's always going up a chimney. But once he had left to go in the pines, he would be seen by townsfolk in and around the pines and in the woodlands and desolate tracts in the southern section of the state. So that was going on. And then for much of the 19th century, the story, it appeared in newspapers from time to time, but it kind of was just like a oral storytelling thing. And by the beginning of the 20th century, all of a sudden there was a rash of sightings in more than 30 different towns. And it elevated this story to be like a full-blown, like, national thing that everybody was watching.
Team. Okay.
There you go. And during the week of January 16th, 1909, thousands of people from southern New Jersey to Trenton reported seeing the Jersey Devil, or at least seeing the tracks left behind. So in Trenton, the devil's hoof prints were discovered in White Horse Park and in some backyards of a bunch of residents' houses.
Oh my God. Imagine if that was your house.
I'm saying.
I would think that was pretty cool, to be
honest. Think that was
honest.
awesome.
I'd be excited.
Yeah. Like, I want a Bigfoot to just walk through my backyard.
Oh, I didn't say that.
I did.
Yeah.
I want that to happen.
That's your manifestation.
I would say, hey, and just have him walk right through.
I would say,
yeah. Just, hey, so cool to see you.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, you want to be left alone.
Yeah.
You out here minding your business, having your lunch.
Yeah.
You know, I get it. I'm not going to blow up your spot. I just want to say hi.
Yeah. I see your hat that says no pictures. It's okay. Like, I respect you.
It's fine. You're dressed in disguise. Your security people are with you.
Like,
I get it.
Carry on. Carry on, my friend.
Thanks for the visit.
Yeah. But one of the residents told the local reporter, I recognize the tracks from those reproduced in the newspapers. They looked to me as if it was that of a young colt, not a cloven hoof, as I've heard of it being described. So if it was a young
that
colt,
person probably then got murdered by the rest of the townspeople that were like, hey, it's the devil.
Exactly.
And he was like, you guys, I'm pretty sure it's just like a small horse on the loose. They're like, no, it's the
like,
devil.
it's the devil.
You die
And he's
now.
like, I
Right.
feel like it's just an animal, though.
They're like, you're a witch.
Yeah. And apparently after these reports came out in Trenton, letters from residents in nearby towns started reporting sightings of what they described as a one-legged, one-footed bird that had been lurking about the city and attacking small
I had a one-legged
animals.
bird once.
You had a one-legged
Really?
bird?
I had a one-legged bird.
That's
I had a canary.
adorable.
Anyway, that's my one-legged canary story. Please go.
You had like a 1/3 Jersey Devil.
It's a good 2
Just
truths
edit
and a
it
lie.
out. Just
It
edit all of
is.
it out. Just the intro. Hi, welcome Jodie Sweetin, and then edit everything else I said out and be like, let's get to the fucking point.
They'd be
That
like,
was
wait,
fun.
I thought Jodie Sweetin was there.
Like she was.
She was really here, like too much.
Never. So the attacks caused a small panic along southern and northern New Jersey. So much so, and I would say this is more than a small panic. They actually closed schools and factories down at one point because they were so panicked. And residents were locking their doors and windows, like scared this thing was going to come into their house. Yeah,
The Jersey Devil is the new
amazing.
snow day.
That's incredible.
Like people were like, "It's coming for you," and they're like,
coming
"Close
for
the
ya.
schools, close the factories,
Which
don't
you
do
know the
anything,
kids
no
were,
more
like,
cannonball
sick.
building, like
No more cannonball building.
no more cannonball measuring. That's it.
That
no
was
iron, no.
That was
yeah.
his thing. He was like, I don't want to be shot by a cannonball again. I'm going to shut all this shit down, and I don't want these kids getting smart enough to go work in a factory. So one man in Bristol was actually awakened one night to his young daughter's screams in the night. And when he ran into her room, he saw through the window a large beast standing just outside along the banks of the river. And he described the noises it was making as, quote, like the scratching of a phonograph before the music begins.
Ooh.
And yet it also had something of a whistle to it. You know how the factory whistle sounds? Well, it was something like that. And I said, no, sir, I don't know what the factory whistle sounds like, but I can imagine.
Wait, was that a quote?
That was me. That was me at the end.
Or that was just you? Got it.
Wouldn't that be amazing if the reporter was like, I don't know what that sounds like, but thank you. But it sounds like a phonograph, like, and then it also sounds like, I would imagine.
You know what though? Have you ever heard cats fighting on your roof at 2 a.m?
I can't say I have.
I'm just saying that shit sounds like the devil. It
The
does.
devil.
The
I'm
Jersey
not a
Devil.
huge fan of cats, but that
Yeah.
is
I can't imagine what like mouth shape this thing was making to make those kinds of sounds, like the like scratch sounds and then the like, wah.
It was like,
it's sort of like beatboxing. You watch people and you're like,
Exactly.
I don't know how you're making that noise with your mouth, but it's like,
coming out.
yep.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? They're like doing it all at once.
That's
Yeah.
actually hilarious.
Not like
to
I
think
just did
about.
because that was terrible. That was
I liked
No, it was really good.
I liked it.
It was also like kind of like ventriloquism, you know?
Yeah,
Maybe
like
he had
he's
like a
throwing his
mini
voice.
Jersey Devil.
maybe.
And he was like, watch what it says.
And his mouth is just doing the side thing. Yeah, look at this thing. I like that. Scratch, scratch, woo! I was like, holy shit. Now, everyone from children to police officers reported seeing the Jersey Devil. And in one case, patrolman James Sackville, woof, pause.
yeah.
Yeah, just putting that out
Poor
there.
kid.
Of the Bristol police reported going to investigate reports of dogs howling and barking in a resident's yard. And when he turned to leave the area, he ended up finding himself standing right in front of the Jersey Devil.
Oof.
Also, this guy, Patrolman James Sackville, he went on to serve as the city's chief of police.
Oh, damn.
And he described the devil as winged and hopping like a bird, but also had the features of some peculiar animal. And he claimed, which this is my favorite claim, because I'm like, no, you didn't. He claims that he ran towards the beast. And I was like, Did you, James? Did you?
Who would ever?
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Untrue.
If this thing is standing there looking the way it looks and it goes, ricker, woo!
He had a reputation to
You
uphold.
shit yourself and then
you ran
went
away
home and changed. And then you were like, I ran after it. And you did not, sir.
Yeah.
Nah, no way.
And he also said this thing ran away from him. This
Doubt
thing
it.
retreated down the path.
Mm-hmm.
The Chief Sackville. He also said that it emitted a frightening cry, or its frightening cry, until it flew out of sight. So it went and then ran out of.
He was like, remix, I'm gonna leave.
Remix, woo! Now, while most who claim to have seen the beast described it as bird-like, at least with the wings and all that, and that like screechy sound, well, some used completely unique descriptions. E.W. Minister, Bristol's postmaster at the time, described the devil as having a head resembling that of a ram with curled horns. And he said his neck was thrust forward in flight.
So he was just sliving.
Yeah, he's just sliving. But he ended up making his way south from Trenton, and he began causing some more havoc. Now, in the early morning hours of January 19th, Mr. and Mrs. Nelson Evans...
That's my birthday.
No way.
Well, a couple on your birthday. They were woken up by strange noises and looked out their window to find the devil, quote, cavorting before their eyes on the roof of their shed. Which I just picture him being like sassy on the roof of their shed.
Just like shimmying a little bit.
Cavorting to me just seems like, it's like, what's happening out there?
Cavorting to me feels like, was there a lady she-devil? You know what I mean? Were things happening on the roof of their house?
That's
Yeah.
what I thought.
Or was he just by himself? Which is weird. Bro, come on, don't do that. Nobody needs that in the middle of the night. I don't
Yeah, not on my roof.
Don't do it on a shed.
need you cavorting on the roof of my house. Come on, go to the woods.
Yeah.
You've got a whole fucking forest. Go find some privacy.
You've got an entire pine barrens to do that in with like a lack of civilization.
It feels inappropriate, sir.
It really does. But in their report to the newspapers, Mr. Evans said the devil was about 3 feet and a half high, with a head like a collie dog and a face like a horse.
What? How do you have a head like one thing and a face like another?
That's what I was just thinking.
Well, he did have a long neck, wings about 2 feet long. This is what's weird, though. He said his back legs were like those of a crane, and it had horse's hooves.
What? Sir, I'm sorry. What are you talking about?
This man had some chocolate before bed.
How did crane legs hold this whole thing? But then the feet are horse's hooves. It's like...
I just also love that nobody can agree what the fuck this looks like.
Nobody can.
Right? Nobody can.
He also said he watched this thing for about 10 minutes in the backyard, and then he opened the window. This is my favorite part. He said he opened the window and he went, shoo! And the devil turned around, barked at him, and then flew away.
I love that it took him 10 whole minutes to
To
think,
go,
what should I
shoo.
say to this? Shoo.
Shoo! And he went, rough. And then
If the devil leaves when I say shoo, I'm not scared.
well, he wasn't done because by the end of the week, the devil had made its way down to Philadelphia.
Oh, wow.
A reporter for the Morning Call wrote, scientists are puzzled to give a name to the beast, which is a combination of bat, kangaroo, and pony.
what?
Now he's a kangaroo?
Like now that we're adding in kangaroo to the mix, I'm like, oh, I get locking your doors now. I don't want that in my house.
I
don't
want to
that.
know.
You can't just come and kick your door down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And what part
Like,
of it is
yeah.
kangaroo? I heard cran legs. In this same article from this reporter for the Morning Call, he said, if something rather weird is not flying around, the condition of mind of South Jersey and South Philadelphia would provide a feast for students of mob hallucination. So I think this reporter is like, I think
Y'all
you're all
crazy.
hallucinating. Yeah. But in an editorial in the Atlantic City Daily Press, one person wrote, when one stops to think about how absurd is the latest Jersey sensation about the Leeds Devil, which has been given much space in the newspapers of the entire country, one must feel ashamed of himself to think that he stopped long enough to read the headlines, less the entire article.
Rude.
Which I was like, okay. That's rude.
That was directly at Officer
Shots fired.
Officer
Sackville.
Ballsack or whatever his name was. That yeah, it was like,
Absolutely.
yeah, bro.
That's
Absolutely.
true.
Yeah.
But I'm like, like live a little.
It's also like,
let's believe in this little devil.
well, and like, are you not writing an article?
But can you imagine if you're like living somewhere and just every story is like a pony kangaroo collie showed up at the door. You're like, shut up.
And your editor's like, you have to write an article about this. A week later or so, sightings of the Jersey Devil after this little article, the sightings just kind of ended. And everyone was apparently shamed out of saying
I was going to say everyone was ashamed of themselves. Like,
everyone was ashamed. But then the Jersey Devil was like, you guys, no, like, I'm not letting you be ashamed, because he made just one more appearance in a village just outside Salem that February before returning to the Pine Barrens. So in the months and years that followed, people all over southern New Jersey and northern Pennsylvania started to theorize as to what could have caused the sightings. And they were blaming it on everything from a complete hoax and misidentified creatures to genuine sightings of the actual Jersey Devil. The Brooklyn Meteor Research Society suggested it was, quote, a type of marsupial carnivore, which a kangaroo is a marsupial, correct?
That's what I was just going to say.
Or fishaped, both previously thought to be extinct. So we're thinking it's like an extinct creature that we are like, oh shit, we're wrong.
what is a fishaped?
It's just when you have toes separated to the base. So it just means cloven-footed.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. So they thought that was extinct. And they were like, maybe it's not. And the Academy of Natural Science, on the other hand, told reporters there is no bird which could make such tracks in the snow. And there is no scientific record of such animals or as have been described in the newspapers. So they're like, shut up.
Shut up.
If the Academy of Natural Sciences was unable to find evidence of any animal that would resemble anything described in the papers, it's probably because, despite some of the overlap in those descriptions, like, you know, the wings and the horse feet and the cloven hooves and all that stuff, they also varied so wildly from one description to the next that it's like, of course you're not going to find something that makes sense.
Yeah, no.
And also, you know, at night, cavorting on a roof, there's no street lights. There's no outdoor lights. Not like you can flip on the garage sensor light. You know what I mean? It is, you are just going by what you see dancing in the dark.
Dancing in the moonlight.
And you just woke up too, so you're groggy.
Then, many years after the Jersey Devil panic of 1909 had kind of ended, people in and around South Jersey started reportedly started attempting to create additional action by making their own Jersey Devil footprints and reporting them to the authorities and the press. They wanted to start it up again.
Right. Because I'm sure that hadn't happened before. That was
of course not. All those other ones
all
were
those
real,
other
but
ones.
these were the fake
Right.
ones. Yeah. And in one case, a Philadelphia animal trainer was hoping to bolster attendance to his performances. So he kind of contributed to the press with the whole thing. He told reporters his vampire bat had escaped and was on the loose, and attributed that to the increase in devil sightings.
It's like, oh, sorry.
And actually, then this leads right into one of the biggest hoaxes was probably the one that Norman Jeffries of New York did. He was an entrepreneur with a real penchant for very bizarre promotional events. He wanted to capitalize on the whole hysteria surrounding the devil, so he bought a small kangaroo from a friend in upstate New York and planned to pass it off as the Jersey Devil.
So there were small kangaroos in upstate New York, is what I'm saying.
There were.
It's
That's
not
my issue.
Thank you.
Why is there a kangaroo in upstate New York?
Your guess is as good as mine. And it gets worse because he painted green stripes on the kangaroo.
What?
But the kangaroo licked the paint off before it dried.
Oh.
Now the kangaroo's got lead poisoning.
So then he attempted to attach a set of wings. And apparently the kangaroo just demolished the wings that he made because it's a kangaroo. And it's like, why the fuck are you putting wings on me?
It was like, I'm already cool enough on my own.
Yeah, he's like, I'm a fucking kangaroo. What are you doing?
I'm yoked.
I am yoked.
Don't mess with me.
So he made a second set of wings out of bronze and rabbit fur. And that worked. He put the wings on his Jersey Devil, and then he draped the kangaroo in nets and paid about 10 local heathens to act as farmers with pitchforks surrounding the animal in a cage.
Oh, that makes me really
Yeah,
sad.
me
That's
too.
so horrible.
Like, fuck you, man.
This animal's like, what is wrong with you? I'm just a small
Give me back to that guy in upstate
pouch-carrying
New York.
kangaroo. And
That's all.
Yeah.
That's all.
He's like, I belong in Australia. Get me the fuck out of here.
And this whole thing happened in the basement of the Dime Museum, and spectators were let in one by one to look at the Jersey Devil, but they could only look at it for a second or two when the curtain would be lifted, and then it would be dropped immediately. But throughout the 19th century, residents of southern New Jersey feared the Jersey Devil, and they panicked at the mere mention of a sighting. It was a big deal. And stories of his presence would circulate from town to town, and sometimes posses were formed to capture it, and bounties were placed on its head, some ranging from $100,000 to $100,000.
Damn.
And by the 1930s, societal attitudes toward the devil kind of changed, because all of a sudden, instead of forming posses to go, to put a bounty on his head, they were like, we kind of love him. Like, he's kind of our guy.
It only took them like 130 years.
A source of pride. And in 1938, the Jersey Devil was officially designated as the state demon of New Jersey, making it the first only state demon in the country.
Wow.
I was going to say, wait. That feels like it implies that there's other state demons, and I would like to know that.
I was so hoping there was more. Can we make more? I would love to make more.
It sounds like
demons.
you could.
You know that there's some states in this country that definitely, I'm like, I could think of a few.
I could think of some demons we could name. And while sightings of the creature definitely became less common than they once were, like we talked about earlier, the name became popular and even became the name of an NHL hockey team called the New Jersey Devils.
Look at that foreshadowing.
There you go.
Look at, I can't believe first of all, I can't believe I knew the name of the NHL hockey team for New Jersey. That is a random ass piece of information.
That was good.
But secondly, wow, way to just, it would be like if we had
just
the bad boy NHL team.
The
here.
Bad Boys. That would be a good baseball team. The Bad Boys.
Oh,
Although I don't think anybody would be very intimidated by them.
I don't think so either.
They'd be like, here, hold my bat.
Here, hold my bat.
3.5 feet tall, as far as we know.
Yeah.
No, it's not very intimidating
exactly.
either. What goes away when you say shoe?
No.
Come on.
That's fair.
right.
So you know what? Bat Boys it is.
Bat Boys. There you go.
Bat Boys.
But the Jersey Devil never went away. He appears in books and television shows. He's in video games. He's in movies. He's like
He's on late night talk shows.
Yeah,
He is at the forefront of licensing out his imaging to AI is what he's doing.
Hell yeah. He's going to be on the next one of the Hot Wings show.
I've been trying to start my DJ career. All of a sudden now he's like, I'm a SoundCloud rapper. I've got, I've got a podcast. I've got an NHL team. Really, his branding and marketing is genius. Top notch, sir.
He's got a good
Congratulations.
manager. It all started in the beginning. She was like, give a quote.
Find him on TikTok, guys.
Yeah. At the Jersey Devil.
Doing trending dances. That's him.
I would love that.
So that's the story of the Jersey Devil.
That was so much fun. I really like that story.
The Jersey Devil is fun.
Yeah.
I kind of love it.
Rarely does it wind up in the naming of an NHL hockey team,
Truly.
So go New Jersey.
How many cryptids can claim that?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Pour one out.
Yep.
For the Jersey Devil.
For the Jersey
they got to
Devil.
keep something going. And that's good for them.
They do.
Yeah.
Good for them.
It's true.
Oh, you guys, this was so much fun.
This was so much fun. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, seriously.
You are
thank
literally
you.
welcome back.
You are so
anytime.
fun.
Anytime. What I'm going to start doing now is listening to the podcast when I'm driving around in my car and just interjecting my own thoughts that you will neither be able to hear nor will anyone else, but I'll feel like I'm a part of the podcast.
Voice note them to us.
I was just going to say, we'll exchange numbers and you can voice note it.
No, seriously, this has been so much fun. I'm such a huge fan of you guys. I love your energy.
Thank
I love
you.
the vibe, everything. It's great for somebody who also obviously tells stories with 1,500 side stories. It's really great to listen to.
Thank you so much. And we're huge fans, so this was a big deal. I think. What was it that Drew said?
Drew goes, my fiance, he goes, this is your biggest get.
And
I was like, I agree.
Yeah.
I was like, yes.
And our researcher, Dave, who did all of the research for the Jersey Devil stuff.
Great work, Dave.
Huge fan. Huge Hallmark. He's in the room.
Hi,
right
Dave.
Now. We got
Great
it.
job.
Great
You did
work,
great.
Dave.
Yeah, I know you're always doing a lot of research and you do a really great job with it.
Hell yeah. Dave
Really
for the
great
win.
research.
Yeah. Because I know how it is having a podcast.
Thank you.
If I were left to do all of my own work, it would be a shit show. So yeah.
We did for a while, and then we were like, well.
Then it was like chaotic. We were like, help, Dave.
Yeah.
Help. And Dave swooped in like the Jersey Devil and said, I've got you. He beat us with his tail.
We pulled it out of his little pouch because he's a small kangaroo. Went and just,
Hell yeah.
Yes.
He flew in the room.
It was great.
He was just storing it.
Well, this has been amazing.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you, Jodie, for joining us. We hope you guys keep listening, and we hope you keep
it
weird.
But not so weird that you actually wind up like stitching on like hooves onto a small kangaroo and putting it on your roof to cavort and then trying to sell it to stores and make a big thing about it and naming it an NHL hockey team. Like, don't keep it that weird, but almost.
Never.
Perfect.
That was fantastic. Because all of a sudden I was like, fuck, I'm blanking. I was like, yes,
it's happening. Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Morbid early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app today. Or you can listen ad-free with Wondery Plus and Apple Podcasts. Before you go, tell us about yourself by completing a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.